Hey everyone, welcome to Clever Boy Gaming, episode 2. I'm taking a different approach today. I have a little mic here, little selfie action, and we're going to see how this goes. So today what I want to really talk about is the PlayStation 5 and how I feel about it so far as a proud owner of a rather desired system. First thing I want to say is, to everyone who hasn't gotten one yet, I understand your pain. And just hold hope because, things will get better soon, I promise. There's actually been a lot of different alerts going around, at least for me, that I've seen talking about when things are going in stock. Now, I'm not claiming to be the messiah of all that, because I'll get to that story in a bit. But if you do want to get a few notifications at the same time as I do, you can always just follow me on Instagram at cleverboygaming /Instagram, or Facebook /cleverboygaming, I believe. But and I'll periodically post things when I actually find them, because I know by the time those come up, they're probably gone. I don't know what it's like now, to be honest, but sheesh, I know exactly how it was before I got mine, the PlayStation 5. Listen, till this day, I can't take ownership of actually receiving mine. That thanks goes towards my sister. I don't pretend to know what happened, because it got to a point where I had given up already. I was distraught. I was finished, you know. But once I got that system, I have one hell of a story to tell you guys. So I got mine around Christmas last year, and I was surprised and I was hyped. I went to Best Buy, I remember, and still not believing it. Like, did I really get this system? So I got it. I saw the box. I wanted to proof check it before I left. And me and my sister came with me, and we came back, and I remember just plugging it in. The first game I got was Spider-Man, the Miles Morales one, but I actually purchased the Miles Morales, which I thought was the Ultimate Edition, but something strange was going on at that point between PS4 and PS5. It just didn't work. Like, for some reason, when I got it, I didn't know how to get to the other game that was inside of it. Like, they have this way of, like, in this system where the whole user friendliness towards getting to your PS4 games in the beginning, I'm talking about like last year, it really wasn't too good. So once I actually was able to find it, actually, on the other hand, I didn't find it. I actually purchased the Spider-Man, the original one, but the remake for PS5. I ended up purchasing it as a different file because I just wanted to play it before I got into the Miles Morales. But before I get to that, I jumped further. I want to talk about the way the system looks. I know many of you guys have seen it already, but if you haven't in person, it's big. It is pretty big, but it's beautiful. I have to admit, to be honest with you, it is something to behold, man. When I first saw that thing, I was like, okay, the PS5, the PS Fizzy is here. It's like big, it's white, sleek, but it also has like this like inner to it where it's like the black part, you just see it just like sitting there, like cooling out, you know what I mean? Like a cloister, you know what I'm saying? Like the Pokemon, like just in the shell. So the form factor of it was very, very, very interesting when I first saw it. Besides that size of the stand actually turned it into what I would describe as like just just a colossus, like just something that had its place. The stand, you just sit it there, you know. I put it behind the TV, so I can't say that I actually see it a lot, but I know it's there and I know it's not going to fall. And the beauty of it is those side plates, they really do protect the innards of it. Like anything coming by the window, any dust in that direction. Um, as far as the controller, it is a bigger controller. Now, what I will say about it is it feels ergonomically, it feels good, like mature, and it feels nice and tough. Like it feels very, very, very powerful. It feels almost alive. Like, if that makes any sense, you know, it feels alive. Like it reacts. Like as soon as you turn it on, like the syncing between that and the system, it just moves. That brings me to the adaptive triggers. That's basically what gives it its birth. The adaptive triggers are always noticeable, one way or the other, which I really do like about that system because, you know, when I'm holding a different controller, I'm like, you know, like it just doesn't feel quite as good. I haven't held the Xbox Series X or S controllers, but from my knowledge, they are no different from the Xbox One, the original Xbox, the Xbox 360. No slight to Microsoft, but yeah, so the controller is amazing. The actual system, amazing. I'm still looking at it at the time. I didn't even plug it in. So we plug it in. Now, like I said, I had that interference when it came to my Miles Morales game. But I must say, the reason why I was so quick to input the Spider-Man original remastered into the cart and buy it was because when I turned on Miles Morales, I was like, okay, I'm here. Now, let me be clear. I had sold my PlayStation 4 years ago, so I missed the sweetest part of the generation of the PS4. I mean, I'm talking like the God of War, the Uncharted 4, The Last of Us. I mean, you name it, game of the year. I missed it on the PlayStation 4. But so when I got to the PlayStation 5, I turned on Miles Morales and I was like, whoa. I mean, first thing I'll talk about is the loading time. There was absolutely no loading time. Like loading was a thing of the past, man. Like it just went to the screen. I saw Miles, and boom, I was like in the game, and I'm like, oh, let me go back to the regular one because I can't just jump into this, man. So when I jumped into the original, I mean, what can I say? The performance was just groundbreaking. It it felt almost like a very, very, very big leap into virtual reality, you know? Um, it felt like a different dimension of gaming, When they said that the adaptive triggers were going to change things, they meant it. Now, the biggest reason why I felt that way about the triggers, the graphics were crazy. I love the graphics, but the actual triggers, I know you've heard this 1,000 times, but Astro's Playroom, which is the original game that comes into your PlayStation 5, that's like That actually might be the first game I put in when I got. That's about it. When I put that game in, that's when I was like, okay, like this controller is alive. Like you know, it it's not something that can be easily explained. Like if I were to just sit here and tell you, okay, the triggers, they just move. Like they're adaptive. Like if you squeeze it, like you'll feel that push. You'll feel that push like on your finger. If I were to just say that, then you might just take it some type of way. But if I told you that there's something in that controller, in the way that the triggers adapt are adaptive, like they just don't harden. They're like a fine tune on your finger where it'll start hard, then release, get softer, it might start hard again, based off of what's going on in the video game. And part of the immersion of that really does come from the the rumble inside of it as well. Like, you know, there's a point in time, man, when you're just like skating and it's like the controller, you can feel like a blade, like you almost feel your skate going across the ice, you know? And like when you combine that with like triggers that have pressure sensitivity, but you connect that pressure sensitivity with what you're seeing on the screen almost to a T. Like it's like immediately as it comes on screen, there's no delay between that and the controller. And then there's like little sounds coming out. It's like I just want to play with the controller. I don't really need anything besides that. You know what I'm saying? And it just changes, based off of what they did on Astro's Playroom. And, I know you'll probably hear that a lot of different I know that you'll probably hear that a lot of different companies don't necessarily take advantage of that. But, you know, even the slightest bit, if they do, it's a big difference between going from that to another controller. I mean, you'll notice that. That alone was something that made PS5 something next gen. Like, I won't even joke around. That alone made me realize what I was dealing with. Um, and the performance, like I said, in screen was really, really good. I played games like um, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which was till this day a very immersive game. I love it. I'm still playing that game. I played Demon Souls, which I was never necessarily a Souls person, but I actually, I'm still playing that mainly because of the immersion, the graphics, the loading speed. Um, it's almost scary. Um, Even games like 2K, you're playing that and you can feel the exhaustion in your player based off of the controller. Like things just get harder to do. If you want to if you want to press the trigger button, you know, to accelerate, it just gets harder once you lose stamina. Um, as far as those games that are home brewed for PlayStation 5, it's definitely worth getting. I promise you that. Um, you know, Even the 3D audio, if we're going to go from the visual physics of the game to the performance and the controller, I want to finish off with the 3D audio. I mean, that, in addition to the controller and what you're seeing on the screen and the graphics, the performance, the seamlessness, PlayStation 5 truly offers a new experience in gaming. I hear a lot of people talking about the jump from the NES to the the SNES, I would say, to the 64. I mean, this is, if not the same, obviously not the same, I would say, but it's similar. It's second best for sure. If you're just fully equipped with the 3D audio and you have the controller, you have a TV, that allows you to see to the slightest bit, doesn't have to be 4K, but to the slightest bit, you are in good position, guys. Early on, I felt that the actual system itself had some quirks that they needed to get through in terms of software issues. Till this day, I must say that I do have an occasional shutdown. Things that really concern me. Now, for me, I believe I might have gotten somewhat of a rigged one, perhaps. But I thought, that it was just, the system was just doing something that it didn't know how to do just yet to the fullest. I mean, that's how I felt. I will call Sony, but one thing I don't like about turning in my system is that I can't play it. Even though I actually stopped playing for a while because it was so bad, and I thought, I'm gonna wait for a software update. That was something that I will say was a big concern, was more so the software of the system. The games worked fine until they shut off. And if you have a game that you think might shut off randomly on you, it does get, harder to just play it, like enjoy it for what it is. As the software updates came in, they did get better. I would go like a month without having an issue, but occasionally there's still something that happens where it just reports to Sony, and I gotta deal with it or figure out how to fix it or go into safe mode. That was something that, well, I knew that was gonna happen with getting the system first. Like just being in that position, I felt like a guinea pig to a certain extent, and I'm okay with it because, like I said, I actually sold my PlayStation 4, so I was ready, man. I was ready. The game library, there are a lot of games, but they're mainly, like PlayStation 4 games, I would say, are the best ones. Like up until now, when I first got it, it was like very limited, but I still loved it because of the experience. Now we have a lot of remakes that are coming out. There isn't anything that was mainly natively made. But in another video, I will start talking about a few of the games that I'm playing. But today, I just wanted to give you an idea of my experience as a PlayStation 5 owner in 2021, going into the holiday just about a year later soon. They're picking it up. I know there's a new version that's smaller. There's a discussion about the fan system. My PlayStation never necessarily overheated, from my knowledge, so I have not gotten my hands on that new one. But I will tell you this: it's worth it. I mean, it's something new. It is unusual. The controller in itself is a W. The controller is just some serious technology in there, and the 3D audio is brilliant. It truly is 3D. So thank you for listening today. I'm going to wrap it up here on episode 2 of Cleverboy Gaming, and I want to just tell you guys, stay tuned for the next episodes. Please, in the comment section, leave any advice, good or bad, things that you want to hear, how you feel, how I sound. And I also want to thank you guys again for coming, because again, this is my second episode, so it's super exciting. This is a new angle. I'm trying to figure out my image here, but one thing I do know for sure is that I love gaming. So do me a favor and subscribe, leave a comment below, and turn on your notifications for the next episode of Cleverboy Gaming. Take care.